Do you want a unique way to raise money for your local community? Harley Race's World League Wrestling is here to help. There is absolutely nothing better than a professional wrestling event bringing the entire community together as one and showing support when it is needed the most. We have been sponsoring fundraising events for many years, and we know that it can bring a lot of winning opportunities for your local charities, school organizations, non-for-profit groups, and whatever else may be in need of assistance. For more information, contact us. Don't wait. Go to www.harleyrace.com, email us, or call us to get information or to schedule a WLW professional wrestling fundraising event in your community right now.
Derek Stone, thank you for joining me at this time here before your big match later tonight. Now, you are quite the veteran in this business. You go back many years with World League Wrestling and Harley Race. What brings you back to the ring?
In case you don't speak German, what he just said was, I came back because I've always appreciated talent. I've always appreciated places that earned respect. And WLW is just that. Everybody here has a lot of talent. They deserve respect. In fact, you look over on that wall and you see a lot of champions, right? You see folks like Superstar C. You see Matt Murphy. You see Brian Breaker. Who don't you see? You don't see Derek Stone on that wall. You don't see a mention of Derek Stone anywhere in this building. But for 5 years, I strapped it up and I carried this place on my back. Don't you think that deserves respect? You wouldn't be here. Hey, I'm talking to you, kid. You wouldn't be here if it weren't for me. None of it. You know, you talk about Leland Race having a target on his back. Imagine being the young man who had to carry the name of Harley Race everywhere he went. And I did it very, very well. I beat everybody. But yet I come here and I see mentions of people like Becca Swanson. Do you remember Becca Swanson? No, nobody does. Do you remember Miss Natural? Do you remember Grizz? No, you don't remember them. Or you shouldn't. The only name you need to remember is me, Derek Stone. And John Webb, later on tonight, I'm not just gonna beat you, I'm gonna take you by the neck and I'm gonna drive you through this ring. Maybe I'll take you out into the parking lot and I'll drive you through the street. I'm gonna hurt you, John Webb. And it's not your fault. It's Harley Race's fault. It's Leland Race's fault.
Wow, they're scared.
So when you're in the hospital later tonight and you're wondering why all this happened to you, well, all you gotta do is make one phone call to the office at WLW and you tell them, hey, I'm broken. I'll never be the same again, and it's your fault. Why did you do this? Why did you show such disrespect to a man who is the new greatest wrestler on God's green earth?
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, that is your main event later tonight. Stone versus the champion, John Webb.
Fans, you just heard from the challenger in tonight's matchup. Derek Stone had harsh words for the champion. He had harsh words for the entire locker room of WLW. But we're getting word now that John Webb, the WLW Heavyweight Champion, will be making a rebuttal to those words from Derek Stone. Let's get to the ring and see what the champion has to say.
At this time, please welcome the World League Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, John
You know what you saw at the last event, he talked about how the title was in his DNA. Well, I have been able to successfully beat Jack Campbell, Brian Breaker, Superstar Steve Fender, and a man that this title is probably more in his DNA than anyone else, the legacy Leland Riggs. So Derek, I hear what you're saying, but there's one thing you're missing out on. He's never got to step in the ring with me.
Indeed, a first time ever match, John, and your title reign has been impressive. Well over a year, back at Night of Champions 3, if you can believe that. You've been the heavyweight champion. But this is the largest contender you've had to deal with. And he's very powerful. We saw him in that Battle Royal last time here at WLW, and he came out of it strong. What do you have to do to beat Derek to retain your title tonight?
Cheat. Cheat? Yeah, cheat. See, that's a beautiful thing. I don't have to cheat.
Right.
Because I'm that good. Derek is a big man. And I don't plan on taking it lightly, but here's the thing. He has to be able to catch me. He can't beat me. I can come from anywhere far faster than he can. I think we've all seen that.
Yeah.
So, although I'll be paying attention, I am not worried about Derek Stone.
Are you concerned you might be looking past Derek Stone? Those words are a little concerning, John, if I do say so myself.
I don't think you can miss him, so you can't look past him. But no, I'm not worried about it tonight.
All right, well, best of luck to you, John. And you win this match tonight. John Webb, everybody.
In 2 years, but at some point, my dream is going to become a reality.
The Harley Race Wrestling Academy, the greatest wrestling school on God's green earth, where champions aren't born, they're made. If you have the passion, the motivation, and the dream to become a professional wrestler, then make the right decision. Investing in your future starts right here at the Harley Race Wrestling Academy. For more information, go to harleyrace.com. Make your choice right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Race Wrestling Arena in Troy, Missouri, this is your heavyweight title main event of the evening. Introducing first, the challenger and former three-time champion, Derek Stone.
And we cannot say enough about Derek Stone. He is an alumni from World League Wrestling, making his return.
Yeah, he made his return a few weeks ago, like you just said. He's been nothing but impressive. Won a #1 contendership battle royal. Survived all the other WLW superstars. Yeah, former 3-time world champion, a veteran from around the world. Made his debut in '93. There is very few men as scary and tense as Derek Stone.
Derek Stone, as you said, making his return matchup in that battle royal, determining the #1 contender for John Webb's World League Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. He won that matchup in his first ever match back. This is his first singles match, and what a big singles match it is for the title.
Yep. And he's coming straight from Cairo, Egypt. A former bodybuilder, former World's Strongest Man competitor, one of the most intense wrestlers, not just in WLW, but in the world. And John Webb has his work cut out for him tonight in this championship match.
For sure, for sure. I've never seen John Webb been more challenged in the height, the size department. You know, he's a smaller guy, but you're going up against Derek Stone, who arguably, when you put him in that roster for World League Wrestling, probably the biggest guy that we have on the roster.
This is very true, and not to discount John Webb, he can slay giants, but he's going up against a different kind of giant in Derek Stone.
David and Goliath's story for the World League Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. And here he comes. He won that title a year ago at Night of Champions. He has held it with pride, with grace. He has been on the top of the mountain. Never has he been challenged to this extent, though.
Absolutely. He's been a defending champion. He's been successful in all of his defenses up until this point. He's looking to continue to be the reigning WLW champion. But as we've said, this is going to be a fight, and it is going to be David versus Goliath verbatim.
Here he comes. They're showing, standing up, all the fans standing here, showing their respect.
A little bit of a slower walk we usually see from John Webb.
Yeah, he's not as anxious to get into the ring. He's trying to show the fans how much he appreciates and loves the support that they've shown him through his entire title run.
Absolutely. John seems like he's contemplating and thinking of a strategy to go into this. He seems excited, but I think he also knows that he's going up against someone who he has never faced a challenge quite like this one tonight.
There was that kind of breath, that eerie breath of, I don't know how to describe it. It was just eerie. When he won the Battle Royal, you just felt like this could be a major threat to John Webb's championship run.
Absolutely.
It is set for one fall with a 30-minute time limit. It is for the World League Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. Your referee is Martin Cage.
Of course, Martin Cage.
The challenger, fighting out of Cairo, Egypt, weighing 285 pounds. He is the former three-time WLW Heavyweight Champion, Derek Stone.
Look at the focus on Stone.
He has done it all in this industry. There's one thing left for Derek Stone to do.
And his opponent from Sparks, Nevada, weighing 163 pounds. He is the defending WLW Heavyweight Champion, the Hybrid Ace, John Webb.
And that's something, calling John Webb's matches, he loves to do that. Just a little bit of showboating to show that he might be the smaller man, but he is in this to compete and still be champion. Martin Cadic, referee there, ringing the bell, and here we go.
And we are off. Derek Stone told me backstage he has to prove to himself that he could still win this championship, that he could still be that guy for Harley at the top of World League Wrestling.
Derek Stone with this big shove there. This is one of the most anticipated matches of this year. Everyone's been waiting to see this championship bout. This is the very best of WLW right here.
Oh yeah, by far. David versus Goliath here, the historic matchup here between these two competitors, and throwing him right to the ground.
Just with ease. You want to talk about Goliath, Dylan.
Like a rag doll.
That's Goliath right there. Except for we never had that part where Goliath picked David up and just chucked him to the ground like it was nothing.
Well, in the Derek Stone story, there is that part because he's got some strength to him. Don't let the age fool you. He could still go with the best of them. Derek Stone has a lot to prove in this matchup. Coming back, returning to his home at World League Wrestling.
Thrust kick there by John Webb as he takes the headlock. Firm headlock takeover. Derek Stone transitions into the head scissors. And those are some thick thighs to be trapped underneath there.
Oh, yeah.
The power.
No oxygen in there whatsoever.
Nope. You could even describe them as tree trunks. And there's another quick slide into a headlock as Derek Stone now, the bigger man,
showing hip athleticism and agility.
Sliding out to catch a breather real quick here. As you see Martin telling him you have to get in the ring. You cannot, the title will not change hands via countouts or disqualification. You can only win by pinfall or submission in the ring. And what is Derek Stone doing? Does he have a chair?
Grabbing a chair. Both men they're tired, they're fatigued, trying to get back to their feet because they know what this match is all about. Taking home the gold. If you are World League Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, you are the man. Oh, trying to flip the big man over. Get some
German suplex.
What a nice job there by the champion, John Webb.
How many people have you seen lift Derek Stone up like that?
I don't think I ever have.
The incredible leg strength from John Webb there, the champion. We never usually see John Webb do power moves as such, but what an incredible thing to pull out in this championship match.
One of the smaller guys on the roster, but he is also one of the strongest guys. Got that inner strength, and you saw it right there. He can pull it out.
He's going to go for sliced bread.
Looking for it.
And he connects with sliced bread number 2.
Oh.
John Webb is in shock, and I'm honest with you, Dylan, I am too. Derek Stone just kicked out. How many people have kicked out of sliced bread?
I don't know anybody in World League Wrestling in any match that John's been in all year for the title, and his defenses that have kicked out of that move.
Titles, championship matches, just regular one-on-one matches, tag matches. I don't think anyone. And he's going to go for it again. I think that's the only thing you got to do. Here comes sliced bread number 2 once again. And you see Derek Stone stumbled his feet. Caught him. Side suplex. And now Stone going to go for the pinfall.
We have a new champion.
We have a new champion.
Derek Stone reversing sliced bread, and we have a new champion.
Derek Stone is now the 4-time world champion. What a dominating victory.
Look at Martin Cage's face. He doesn't even...
That is the most shocked I've seen everybody in this arena. The arena has almost gotten silent as Ben Simon makes the official decision. John Webb was champion for a year.
Night of Champions 3 over a year.
Wait a minute, oh, come on now. I don't really think that was called for, but Stone maybe wants to lay it in the face of John Webb.
You hold that belt for a whole year, and then you have that classless act there by the new champion, Derek Stone. Just disgusting. And now John Webb is in some turmoil. He is in trouble.
What is Derek Stone going to do now?
Now it's not even about the match. You're worried about his health at this point.
Now wait a minute. Here comes Raheem De La Suede. There's Moses. De La Suede ate a massive headbutt there.
It's a tough ask to come in there against a guy like Derek Stone.
Shot below the belt. And Stone cleaning house. That's the new WLW World Champion.
Does not care about the health or well-being at all of anybody else. He's on a quest. And he is looking.
And here comes Leland, the Legacy Race.
Oh, Leland Race coming in the ring to help John.
Well-known friendship with John Webb, Leland Race has.
What a matchup, though, we just saw. But to end it like that and that disgrace, cowardly attack from the new champion. Oh, getting the fold-up chair now.
What is the Legacy looking to do?
Things are getting interesting.
And stepping over Moses, Leland Race is ready to fight for his friend.
You think about the history between the Legacy, Leland Race, and John Webb and all the battles that they've had.
All the battles they've had, the mutual respect there.
Actually, to be honest with you, that was actually the title that John Webb won from Leland.
Now Leland offering his hand in friendship to help him out of here.
Yeah, the changing of the guard a year ago.
I'm sure later on down the line you're going to get a shot, right? A rematch. Let's go.
And Leland explaining to John Webb what happened because he looks like he's out there.
Telling John he will get his opportunity to win back what was his.
Absolutely, there's a chance to get that rematch. There's John Webb back on his feet. The fans here at the Harley Race Wrestling Arena showing their support.
Look at what this man has done over the last year here at World League Wrestling. He may not be the champion anymore, but you got to respect the blood, sweat, and tears that John Webb has put into that ring. The Hybrid Ace has given 110% every time he goes out there.
What class by Leland Legacy Race to come out here and help the former champion. Derek Stone did not need to do that, but I think he wanted to make a bigger impact. And once again, the big story here right now. Derek Stone, new WLW Heavyweight Champion.
And that's that unpredictability here at World League Wrestling. You don't know what's going to happen at any moment in time. It's just so unpredictable. Titles change hands. You just never know. But the World League Wrestling title has now changed hands for the first time in a whole year.
Legacy helping out Stone with John Webb.
Oh, wait.
What was that? What was the call there, John?
The Legacy coming to his aid, but now he's getting attacked by the former champion.
Now, I hate to say we're short on time here, folks, but it looks like John Webb is also turning his bike on the Legacy race.
Sliced bread, the Leland race.
WorldLeagueWrestling.tv.com and World League Wrestling on YouTube for the shows and for updates. But what is John Webb thinking here, Dylan?
I don't know. This is definitely a historic match, a new chapter of World League Wrestling. Thank you so much, folks, for tuning in. I'm sorry about this disgusting act here at the end from our former champion. My name's Dylan Hiley.
And I've been Terry Johnson.
And you guys have a great night, because together we are World League Wrestling.